What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. Today I'm very excited to check out Poker Tiles game from Masterpieces. This is for 2 to 4 players, age is 12 plus, and it'll take, 15-20 minutes to play. And in Poker Tiles games, you're going to be taking poker tiles, playing a game. Man, that's a stupid name. This is from Masterpieces, who has brought you such memorable games as Chuck E. Cheese Sky Tubes, Red Caboose, Bella Sarah Magical Adventure Time, and of course, Show Me Yours, I'll Show You Mine. I'm being serious. Those are all their games right there. Stupid name. Is it a stupid game? Yeah, it probably is. But let's open it up, check it out, and find out anyway. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Poker Tiles games. First and foremost, we have our handy-dandy rule sheet, which folds in the most obnoxious way possible. But it's a very serviceable rule sheet. It'll have you up and running in no time at all. It's a very, very simple game, and this will teach you how to play it pretty quickly. Plus, I can do it right now. One thing I do want to point out is the fact that they have a whole page of house rules here, but in actuality, these are not house rules. These are just rules. These are how you play the game. I think whoever wrote this rule booklet didn't actually understand what house rules means. I think he was thinking alternative rules, which are right over here. So that's really neither here nor there. So in this game, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking tiles out of this bag right here. And as you can see, you're going to have all 52 cards represented in a deck, but in tile form. They're pretty nice, serviceable tiles. They're thicker plastic. Nothing's going to scratch or break. And you're going to be playing out hands of decks, or poker hands, onto the board here, a la Scrabble, trying to score points. So you're going to score points based on the poker hand point values down here. So as you can see, you have to have a pair of jacks or better if you want to play anything at all. But if you can play a royal flush, you'll get 15 points. The catch is, if you put down 2 jacks, you're going to score 1 point. But if somebody else has 1 jack, they can now play it on there, and that would give them 3 of a kind, so that'd give them 3 points. You have to really decide when you're going to be playing the tiles that you want to play. So I mentioned there are 52 tiles in here that are going to represent every card in a deck. Now, also in here, and I'll see if I can find one real quick, there are going to be some wilds that will look like this, that will have either a 2x or a 3x. This will count, obviously, as a wild card, but it will also double your score for when you play on that tile. But you have to be careful with those, because other opponents can play on those as well and get those bonuses. Last but not least, we have these little tile holders, which are nice. They're plastic, sturdy. They're not going to bend or break or anything like that. Everybody will get one of these, and this will hold your tiles upright. So now I'll show you how the game is played by just doing a mock hand real quick, and you'll get a feel for it very quickly. So I'm going to draw 5 tiles out of the bag right here and set them on my board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's see what we got. So we got ourselves a 9, a 3, a 6, a 7, and a 9. Unfortunately, we can't play anything right now because all we have is a pair of 9s. So on your turn, if you can't play anything, or if you decide you would not like to play anything, you can replace as many or as few of your tiles as you want. Obviously, you probably want to replace at least one most of the time. So now we have a conundrum on our hand. Do we want to get rid of these 9s, or do we want to get rid of these 3 diamonds? Because we have a pair of 9s, but we also have 3 towards getting the flush. So you know what? We're going to get rid of these, and we'll draw 3 new tiles, and that would be the end of our turn. Hooray! Wasn't that fun? We drew an ace, a queen, and a jack. So I'm going to cheat a little bit just to show you how the gameplay works, because this is going to take way too long. So let's just say the next person came up and they were lucky enough to put down a straight. So that'd be very fortunate for them. So they'd have a 9, 10, jack, queen, and a king. So they would next write down their score. There's no pencil or pad or anything that comes in the game, but they would now have scored 4 points because they got a straight. Now the next, they draw back up to 5 tiles. Then the next player could also build on that. So they might have a king in their hand. They might say, all right, I'm going to lay down this king right here, which means I have scored a pair of jacks or better, so I would now score 1 point. The next person might have the 3 times tile. They might decide to play that down right here. So now that's 3 of a kind, since that is a wild. So that'd be worth 3 points, but since they played the 3 times tile, they're now going to score 9 points, which would be really fortunate for them. So the next person might come along, and they might do jack, and jack. something like that. But then what can also happen is that people continue to play. But eventually what's going to happen is that you're not going to be able to play anything. You'll reach in there might be no tiles left, at which point you will just say that you passed. And when no one is able to play anything because everyone passes, you will tabulate up who has the most points, and whoever has the most points is going to be the winner of Poker Tiles Game. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alrighty then, Poker Tiles Game from Masterpieces. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, the game's not going to be for, well, a lot of people. 2 to 4 players, very restricted player count, very, very simple game. If you're looking for something meatier, might not be for you. This is not going to be a game you're ever going to take to a game night, or else you'll get laughed at and possibly not invited back if you push the issue of playing it. It has a poker theme, which is going to turn off some people, the initial poker theme, and it also doesn't really play like poker at all, which is going to turn off people who actually like the poker theme. That's about all I have. Surprisingly, Poker Tiles Game is not actually a big box full of crap. I know you were expecting me to come in here and just tear this game apart, but actually, it's halfway decent. Why do I like Poker Tiles games? First and foremost, it is a very simple game to learn and to teach. Even though the rule booklet folds in a stupid way and they don't know what house rules are, the game is very simple to learn and you can probably teach it in under a minute. The components are perfectly serviceable, perfectly nice. The tiles are nice. The tile holders are nice. The board is just fine. The box is a little bit big. That's neither here nor there. It's something you can find for dirt cheap. Guarantee if you went to a couple thrift shops over and over and over again, you're probably going to run into this game. So, you get it for dirt cheap. And the main reason why I like this game is because it fits a niche. It has enough strategy in it. Like, it's not just this dumb, you do this and that's your only move kind of thing, because there really is some thought you need to put into your moves. Do you wait until you have a really good hand to lay it down and maximize your points? Or do you just kind of dink and dunk and lay down little bits here and there and just kind of accumulate points maybe a little bit faster than other people? And that's actually kind of interesting. Now, I'm not saying this is a great game, but the bottom line is this is not a terrible game. And I feel like this game really scratches that itch of being the kind of game that you can play with a family who does not play games. I know personally for me, I figured I was just going to get rid of this game, but I actually think I might bring it up to my grandma's little lake cottage thing she has, because I feel like this is the kind of game that's not going to scare away non-gamers. People who really don't want to play games with you, but they'd be like, it's kind of like poker, it's kind of like Scrabble. They'd be like, we'll give it a shot. And maybe, if they're feeling a little bit frisky, you could be, hey, you guys want to try something a little bit more complex? Maybe bust out your Ticket to Ride or something like that. Who knows? Probably never happened. But still, Poker Tiles Game is not too bad. It feels like a little bit of a dumbed-down Scrabble. And I say that mostly because, in Scrabble you score points based on the letters, but this, if you have a full house with 2s and 3s and a full house with aces and kings, you score the same amount of points. And I actually kind of like that dumbed down version just a little bit, even though I do like Scrabble a little bit better. But Poker Tiles Game from Masterpieces is not half bad. You can find it for dirt cheap, and it looks like it might be something you might know someone that you would want to play with, or if it's just sitting on your shelf collecting dust like mine was, then be sure to check out Poker Tiles games from Masterpieces, or don't. It probably won't matter either way. But if you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below, and in the comments below, let me know what is the oldest game that you have on your shelf that you have never played. What's the game that's been there sitting there the longest that just has not gotten to the table for one reason or the other? I know before this weekend, 4th of July weekend, this had not hit the table for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden I played it 4 times this weekend. So let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. That was a review for Poker Tiles Game. For more reviews and previews of games with stupid names and good names, come on back to Bowers Game Corner. Y'all.